Good morning to everybody in person. Welcome to the Spring Mind Body Seminar. Morning to everybody online and in person. I'll start by just introducing the event for a second. Thank you all for joining. I'm happy to see this still going and survive through the pandemic. I remember our first one. It's been officially 3 years now since everything first shut down. And I remember we did a virtual mind body seminar. I think there was like 4 people maybe. I think Reverend Todd was one of them at the year after that. But I didn't know if they were going to last and thrive. And so to see people come back and come online makes me very happy. Today we're starting the week of the Equinox. So Ohigan is the Equinox holiday, and I'll talk more about that later. The actual equinox is on the 21st, which will be Wednesday. But the 3 days before the equinox and the 3 days after are the week of Ohigan, where we really take a moment to slow down, check in, and try to really experience the shift into the light from winter, right? The days have already started getting longer since we had the daylight savings change. We can see the sun staying out a little longer. It's still cold, but maybe it'll get warm soon, you know? The hope of warmth is all there. And sometimes coming from that kind of slowness of winter, that introspective time, especially if most people I think are in Chicago online, the kind of harshness of the cold. Sometimes switching into spring can feel a little disembodied. Like all of a sudden we're just running around, or we get really excited, but we get burnt out because we don't really know how to balance our energies because we've been so stable for so long. Or maybe we've been running all winter and we are tired, but we still want to keep going. There's so many ways we could be feeling. And so this little 2-hour block, welcome, is just meant to give us an opportunity to check in with ourselves. Everything we do will be opt-in, opt-out. So if you have to take a break, if you need to go take a moment by yourself, feel free. If you want to move or stretch, feel free. The point is not to follow what I say exactly, but to find what feels good for you today. One second. Okay. So today we're going to start with just a little seated stretch. So just to check in with our body, we'll start by just taking a deep breath together. Take a deep breath in. Let it all out. And let one ear drop down to one shoulder. And start a slow circle. Imagining you're drawing a wide circle with your nose. Gently stretch the neck. You can switch directions or keep going one way. If you find a spot that has a little crick in it, feel free to keep moving. Welcome, good morning. And perhaps you start rolling the shoulders as well. Feeling them come up towards the ears. Reach them back. Feel your scapula come closer. And then really drop them down. Trying to settle into whatever posture feels most helpful to us today. And perhaps we make some gentle circles with the arms. Feeling extension all the way through the pinkies as we come up. Shoulders still dropped. And slowly rounding wherever your motion takes you, whatever feels good for you. If you need an extra stretch, you can point the fingers out as you circle. And bring the hands in, slowly interlacing the fingers, rolling the wrists. It's okay if it's a little crackly. Go in both directions. And then take the hand, gently pull the fingers over, stretching. Switch. Trying to keep the shoulders down today as much as possible. Gently shake out the hands. Try to feel the whole tops of your arms relaxed. And just move from the center of your palms. You might generate a little bit of heat. And let your hands rest. And find a gentle rock back and forth. Letting the neck move with your body, but keeping this kind of connection with the spine, not just letting it flop. And go forwards and back, really feeling into the seat. Notice where you connect with your cushion or chair or bed, wherever you are. Then you might start to make gentle circles in one direction or the other. This time, feeling into the hip creases. You can use your hands for a little help if you want to contact with them. Allow your breath to be slow and steady. Trying to breathe with your movements. And you might lean in either direction towards the knees, gently bringing the chest towards one knee, keeping the back straight. It could mean this far, it could mean this far, go wherever feels good to you, but just a gentle twist. And switch. Trying to keep the knees anchored to the ground. And as you come up, you might place your hands on the belly and take a second to breathe into your palms. You might feel your breath come in through the nose, float down the chest, down into the belly, filling up even the back. And then slowly let it float out. Take a few breaths like this. And you can let your hands be at rest. Take a moment to stretch your legs, stretch any part of your body that's asking you to be stretched right now. And then in a few moments, we'll go into our first sit. I'll start by hitting the block in the back, then I'll come up and ring the bell and give instructions. I'm going to describe a way of breathing, counting your breath from 1 to 10. If there are other ways you like to sit, feel free to invite whatever feels good to you. The structure that I am providing is just if you need it. If you have a different one in mind, feel free to use that one and use your full agency today. Palms together at the heart. Bow. Place your hands on your knees and gently move the upper body from right to left, then forwards and back, finding your center point. Sit up through your center, spine softly straight. Sit down through your center, rooting into your chair, cushion, bed, rooting into the earth. Breathe in and out through the nose with the mouth closed. Breathing in, fill your belly and back with breath. And breathing out, count 1. Continue counting your exhales like this until you reach 10, and then start again. You might have your eyes open, relaxed, looking down at about a 45-degree angle, gently spreading out the vision and gazing out through a spot in front of you, or you might have the eyes closed. Count your breaths from 1 to 10. If you lose your place, whatever sensations arise and fall, whatever thoughts race, find your breath and start again. Let them go. Whatever thoughts arise, whatever sensations persist, sit like a boulder in a rushing stream. The water comes, the water goes. Let your thoughts come and let your thoughts go. Palms together at the heart. Bow. Take a moment to stretch as you'd like to, be comfortable. We're going to do a breathing exercise next together. And this one, I'll explain a little first, so please feel free to move around. And if you need to take breaks, you can sit up and down. For this exercise, I would actually recommend sitting on a pew if you are not in half or full lotus. So if your knees aren't touching the floor, I'd recommend sitting in a pew. It actually makes it a lot easier. Um, we're going to do some gentle box breaths into an exercise called Okinaga, which means big breath. This breath is, or long breath, I guess, in Japanese. This is practice we do a lot in some Zen training, and in Aikido dojos, they do it a lot too. That's at least where I've been taught it growing up. And we'll start with a box breath to kind of warm up our lungs and our breathing, and I'll explain that when we do it. But to give a little bit of context about Okinaga, this is the practice of really trying to slow down the breath. So as we move into spring, as we move into kind of motion, the aliveness, everything being really visibly born again, we can take an opportunity to really check in with our body's rhythm, our body's time, what it feels like our limits and what's that word? Capabilities are. And so this exercise is not to prove you can breathe a long time. It's not to do it right or wrong. If you need to take extra breaths, take extra breaths. The whole point is just to slow down intentionally. But I'll time us out with the blocks, and we'll go in 5-second increments. So we'll start with a 5-second inhale, 5-second exhale. You want to breathe in through your nose, imagining you're just opening up the backs of your nostrils, very gently letting the air seep in. You can even slightly lean back at the top of your breath to make the full amount of space possible in your lungs. And then as we breathe out, you switch to breathing out the mouth. And you imagine you're breathing the same, out the back of your mouth, kind of that soft, that's exaggerated so you can hear it, but like the sound comes out. And it's as if you're just slowly going forward, letting the air just drift out of your body. 5 seconds is around the average range for an inhale or exhale flow. So that one should give you a chance to get used to it. Then we'll go up to 10, 15, and we'll try a few 20 as well. And we'll just see how you do. If the breath gets too long, just breathe slowly with yourself. You can count from 1 to 10. But to prepare ourselves for that first, we'll do a simple few box breaths before. So same intent, but this time we'll breathe in, hold the breath, breathe out, hold the breath. So we'll do a few of those in a row. Timed by the block, I'll give verbal instructions, and we'll move into Okinaga. So this will be about 10 minutes of breathing all together. So feel free to be as comfortable as possible. Take a nice clearing breath together. Deep breath in. Let it all out. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. In. Hold. Relaxing the body. Exhale completely. relaxing the body again. Breathe as normal. Take a few breaths at your own pace, and we'll gently move into Okinaga. In order to breathe very deeply, we have to relax the container around the lungs, right? The lungs can only expand as much as our chest lets us, as much as our shoulders, our back lets us. So as we go through these long breaths, the point isn't to struggle and get to the end. You might hold your breath at the end. You might take a few extra breaths if there's more seconds left. The point is to find your lungs, find your relaxation, whatever that looks like. It doesn't have to be perfect relaxation, but whatever the most calm version of you possible in this moment is, that's what we're trying to find. We'll take one clearing breath, deep breath in, let it all out. In, out. In, out. Ten seconds in, out. 'In, out. 'In, out. 15 in, out. Pace yourself. In, out. In, out. And we'll try 20 or just keep breathing deeply on your own time. In, out. In, out. Last breath in. Keep breathing until the block stops. Breathe out. And take a moment to let your breath return to its natural rhythm. Stretch out if you need to. The purpose of Okinaga, like I said, isn't to just breathe the longest. It's really a way to kind of force yourself into your body, see what you're feeling, right? If 5 seconds is about average, getting to 10, that's already doubling it. 15, tripling. 20, quadrupling. So that's a long time to breathe in and out. And breathing that deeply, for me, at least in my experience, shows me all the knots in my back. It shows me all the little tight spots in my body. And instead of judging myself for that pain or getting frustrated at it, can be an opportunity just to find those places where we can give ourselves some more care, where we can tend to our pain or even just witness it, be with it, acknowledge it. So it's not sneaking up on us, our own experiences in our body. And especially thinking of springtime, I think of the way time, we always say time moves fast, time moves slow, different times of the year, we characterize time differently. And time really isn't changing, right? It's its own thing. Our experience of it changes. And so in finding deep, slow breaths, I find that my experience of time can change. If I'm feeling really stressed, things feel like they're going too fast. Maybe I'm breathing really quickly. Taking a moment to breathe in and out, right? Doing just 3 of the 20 seconds, that's a whole minute that goes by just in 3 breaths, 3 inhales, or one inhale, one exhale, one inhale, 3 cycles. Times can stretch out and be more compassionate and spacious to us, starting from within. Sometimes we don't have the ability to change what's happening, but how we can accept and have space for what's happening, I think can, expand and grow. And these tools I find help me grow that kind of toolkit. Okay. So we'll do one little mini sit, very short, just to kind of get back into a calm, stable zone now that we've done some breathing. If you'd like to move back to the cushion, you can. And then we'll do some chanting together with the little white cards that are on the cushions, or I will share my screen for folks online. But today we will be focusing on some chakra cleansing, some just gentle, like a body scan. Uh, we'll do the sounds associated with chakras before the break. We'll take a break right after this. And then later on, we'll have some color visualizations as a way to really check in and kind of refresh our bodies. Okay, I'll ring the bell. We'll do about 4 minutes or so of silent meditation after the instructions, and then we'll move in to chanting. Palms together at the heart. Bow. Let your hands be at rest as you gently move the upper body from right to left, then forward and back. finding your center point. Sit up through your center, spine softly straight. Sit down through your center, rooting into your chair, cushion, bed, rooting into the earth. Find a spot on the floor several feet in front of you. And with your eyes half open and half closed, gently gaze out through that spot. Or you might let your eyes close. Breathe in through the nose, filling the belly and back with breath. And breathe out through the nose, counting 1. Continue counting your exhales like this until you reach 10, and then start again. If you lose your place, start again. Whatever thoughts, feelings, or sensations arise, find your breath and start again. Let them go. Whatever thoughts persist, sensations arise, sit like a mountain. Rain falls, wind blows, the earth shakes, the mountain remains. If you grab your white cards from the left of the mat, today we are going to 2 times, this time with chanting, later just with visualization, do a little full body clearing. So you can think of this as a body scan. There's nothing too technical to think about. We're just going straight down the body. So there's your crown chakra, crown of your head, your third eye, right in between and a little bit above your eyebrows, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, which is just a few inches down, a few inches above the navel, the depending on your body. The sacral chakra, you can think of that as kind of between your belly button and spine and down a little, just right in the middle there. And then your root chakra all the way down into the pelvic floor. So as we chant today, we're going to imagine the vibration. You can chant loudly, even if you don't quite understand. These are just the sounds we're making, are like the root syllable seeds for these placements in your body. You can just listen if you don't want to chant. Whatever you do, throw yourself fully into it. And really just imagine the vibration slowly relaxing, melting down each part of the body. So we'll chant the sound for each part, and I'll say where, and then just imagine that part of your body relaxing. So we're going to do this kind of sound meditation. I'm a certified sound healer. It's one thing I don't incorporate a lot here, so I figured this would be a nice day to do some sound things too. So feel free to sit comfortably, sit however you'd like. Find your posture, take a few deep breaths. Gently bring your awareness into the crown of the head. Seeing if you can notice any sensations there. And we'll do 3 times in a row. I'll demonstrate once first. We'll take a deep breath in and then exhale the chant. So for the crown chakra, that's A plus Aum. So we'll take a deep breath in and relax the throat, chanting out Aum. And I will ring the bell as we chant out so we can have a little bit of aid, perhaps also to not make us feel so shy. The bell's pretty loud, so feel free to chant loudly. Deep breath in. Take a couple reset breaths. Imagining the crown of our head. Take a deep breath in. Few breaths. One more deep breath in. Bring your awareness down the forehead, relaxing the brow, imagining the third eye and the spot behind, relaxing the eyeballs, the jaw. And as we take 3 more deep breaths, we will say Om, O-M, Om. Deep breath in. Om. Deep breath in. Om. Deep breath in. Om. Bring your awareness down into the throat. Relax the jaw and neck. This time we will say hum. Deep breath in. Hum. awareness into the chest, the heart space. Relax the shoulders and upper back. And really feel the vibration of your own voice, your vocal cords, your whole body resonating with yourself. As we will say yam this time. Deep breath in. Yum. In. Yum. In. Yum. Let your awareness move down into the solar plexus, feeling the top of your belly relax, feeling the middle of your spine relax. As we move through the lower half of the body, you may stay still, or you might find gentle movement, rocking, whatever feels natural to you, moving wherever you feel. And as we focus on the solar plexus, we will say Ram with an R, Ram. Deep breath in. Ram. Deep breath in. Ram. In. And we'll move our awareness down to the sacrum. You can place your hands on the belly if that's a helpful aid, or leave them relaxed. And this time we will chant Vam with a V, Vam. Deep breath in. Vam. In. Vam. In. Vam. And bring your awareness into your root, your whole seat, feeling the glutes relax, inner thighs unclench, calves relax. And as we move down, imagining our lower seat relax, we will chant Lam with an L, Lam. Deep breath in. Lam. Deep breath in. Feel the chant reach down into the belly. Lam. Deep breath in. Feel the chant reach down into the earth. Lam. Take a moment to bring your awareness into your whole body, exactly how it is right now. Perhaps some pain, some ease, some calm, some anxiety, all mixed together. Whatever's there. We'll simply build a space to accept it all, to find a way to be with it, to experience fully. Palms together at the heart. Bow. Please stretch out if you need to. We'll take a 10-minute break now, coming back around 9:35. Yeah, 9:35 on the clock back there, and around 9:36, on the clock if you have a computer. Feel free. There's bathrooms downstairs. The water fountain works downstairs. It's all the way down. There's a single star, gender neutral, and stalled bathrooms all the way down. And I will ring the bell a bunch of times when the time's up, so feel free to move about. And at home, feel free to take a second to take care of yourselves. Your son's 26? Wow, that's wild. That's very close to my age. Yeah, I'm 29. That's so crazy. Your energy's very young. Yeah. Wow. You give off 45. I always think that. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, my parents are the same. In high school, they met in high school, and they were like, my mom was a cheerleader, my dad was like a track star, and so technically, I guess somehow they're cool, but to me, it's like, oh, okay. Oh yeah, just my phone, and then I'm on Zoom on my laptop so that I can do all the controls. But then this is just like a better picture and better sound for the bells, actually. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it really, yeah, I do so much work with just my phone. Yeah. Yeah, you can, it's goes on Zoom or you could stream it on YouTube, you can stream it on Facebook. You can really do anything. Oh, let me go get some water. Some water. Are you like that too? Oh yeah. 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 It's so confusing when it changes. Yeah. Yeah. Heart attacks go up like ev- in globally when the anywhere that they have daylight savings. Yeah, like about time. Yeah, it's like yeah, everything just feels a little off. Mm, that's weird. That's crazy. About one more minute or so. Take a moment to settle in. Oh, Yes, there is. If you ask Reverend Todd, I think he knows the public one. There's public Wi-Fi. Yeah. Thanks for folks online introducing yourself. I just got to read in the chat. Nice to see you all. Okay, so as you take a few moments to settle in, we have two more main portions before we all move over here. I'll talk a little and then we can all check in before ending today. The next thing we'll do is a guided visualization into some walking meditation. For this visualization, feel free to sit down, sit on the pews. You can lay back if you want to. There's plenty of space here and plenty of, makeshift pillows. So really get comfortable. But we're going to be doing the same thing. We're effectively going over the same points of the body, this time with the colors. So the colors are listed on your card, and I'll go through them as well. I'll share them on my screen as well, in case that is helpful. There we go. Indigo it's the rainbow. So indigo, it starts from red, orange, yellow, green, blue. Indigo's like in between blue and purple, and then purple. So just, I don't know, like a deep, deep blue. Indigo dye is like that blue dye that's like classic in Japan, if that helps. Okay, good question. That's what indigo is. If anybody else has any questions, feel free. This time, as we imagine the light, we're really just going to imagine it washing over us. So I like to, you can imagine it whatever way works for you, whatever way in your mind's eye, whatever you connect to. But as I imagine purple, I just imagine it kind of slowly cascading inside my body, outside of my body. Same thing with all the colors. And then at the end, we'll do a white light, or a kind of, not white, but clear, translucent light. And we can just imagine being cleansed. And really, the invitation I offer here is to let go of whatever you need to let go of from winter, right? We are shifting into a new season. That's a good chance, opportunity to shift into a different type of being, to stay in the same type of being, but with less of what doesn't serve you. And if you're into astrology, particularly, Saturn has shifted. So this is also a good time to let go of the last 3 years, which is the whole of the pandemic. So really to take time to think as we move, maybe not thinking so concretely or thinking concretely if that feels good to you, but what's not serving me anymore? What do I need to change? What do I need to let go of? And instead of with force or with shame or with uh, kind of a hard edge, how can I just invite things that bring what I need so that those things can change or happen so I can grow in a more gentle way. So get nice and comfortable. Feel free to move, find your spot as we go. If you want more leg room, you can always move out in the aisles and stuff too. We'll start with a clearing breath, and I'll ring the bell a few times, and then I'll just talk us through. Deep breath in. Let it all out. Take a second to imagine a tiny ball of soft purple light in front of you. This light is a little warm, or perhaps if your body's warm, this light could be cool. It can smell of anything you like, be any shade of purple you want. But as we imagine this purple light, we'll take a deep breath in, imagining the light cascading over the crown of our head, bringing ease wherever it touches. And as we exhale, the light slowly dissipates through the rest of the body. We'll take a few inhales and exhales at our own pace like this, breathing in the light and then letting it go. And as you breathe in and out, that ball of light gets a little darker, a little more blue, slowly becoming indigo. And when we breathe in, that light floods into the third eye, relaxing the brow, wrapping around the brain, gently supporting it, giving space to any pain or ache behind the eyes. And we'll take a few more breaths like before, this time inhaling indigo and letting it go. Let the ball of light in front of you slowly transform into a light blue. And this time, feeling the breath inhale through the throat, we'll direct the light in and let it go. Let the light before you transform into green. As we move our awareness down into the heart space, we imagine inhaling this green, letting it fill the chest, fill the lungs in every direction, wrap the heart gently, and then we let it go. And let the ball slowly transform into a yellow light, this time inhaling it all the way down into the solar plexus, relaxing that top half of your belly, relaxing the spine. And let the ball transform into a deep orange as you breathe it in even deeper down into the sacrum, below the belly button towards the spine. And let the ball of light transform to a burning red as we slowly breathe in all the way down into the root of our body. Imagine that red flooding, filling the legs, the hips, the glutes, your whole core, and then let it go. And finally, we'll bring our awareness into our whole body as much as possible. Perhaps some points were hard to connect with today. Perhaps they were all hard to connect with. But that's okay. We'll let that go. We'll bring our sensation into whatever is available to us. And let the ball in front of us slowly disappear, becoming translucent light. Simply wind almost, with a little bit of heat or a little bit of coolness. We'll let that wind come in through the nose, travel all the way down the body, and imagine it exiting the soles of your feet, joining the air again. We'll take a few breaths like this, breathing in, breathing out. on your own pace. Flutter your eyes open if they've been closed. Return to the space around you. Perhaps you rise sitting up if you're laying down, or you can stay laying down if you'd like. Take a moment to stretch out. And our last little meditative exercise we'll do, there's an invitation to be standing if you would like. You can stay seated if that's more comfortable to you as well. But take a moment, going slowly, to rise. Minding if your feet are asleep, take your time. Okay. If you'd like some more cushion, you can stand on your zabuton, the big square, or you can stand on the ground, whatever is most comfortable. We're just going to take a few minutes to end these kind of meditative exercises with some heat in our bellies, in our bodies. So we're going to just bring some motion, some dynamics. Our mind, the invitation is to have the same. Whatever's been how we are showing up today, how we prepared our mind to sit still is how we prepare our mind to move, at least in this context. So it's the same approach, the same relaxation. We are going to do just some gentle bouncing and like hand movements, so it won't be too much, but just find a second to shift back and forth, feeling your feet in the ground, feeling the four corners of your feet. If you're in a chair at home, feel your body against the surface. Get a little sway, a little circling, feeling the hips. Take a moment to check in with the low back, with the spine. You need to untuck or tuck a little. We'll take a moment to really feel the spine, slowly getting a little bit of stretch. So I'm moving from the center of my spine. My head's pretty still. Just wiggle the spine one way and the other. You can move the chest if you'd like to, or the hips, whatever feels accessible to you. And we'll take a deep breath in, bringing the arms up, reaching, and breath out, hands together, dropping in, out, in. Relax the shoulders, drop them out. Let the hands clasp gently, relaxing them in front of the belly button, waist, wherever. And we'll find a gentle bounce in the knees. Slowly relaxing the arms completely. We'll see if we can make that bounce a little bit bigger, feeling it in the toes maybe. And if possible, a little bit bigger, feeling the joints relax. And then the last one, little tiny hops. And slow down just a little. Maybe just the toes now. And put your heels on the ground, but still bounce the knees. Feel your body as one. Let the hands drop to the sides and slowly shake the hands. Let the legs stop, hands keep going. Bring the hands up and drop. Bring them up, breathe in, breathe out. One last in, out. And let your hands come to rest, gentle in the knees and hips. Take a few breaths in, feeling through the feet, letting it all go. We'll take our palms together at the heart and bow to each other. And to do one final bow together. Palms together at the heart. Bow. Okay, we've made it through the meditative portion. If you're in this middle row, if you don't mind just flopping your cushion in half like that, everybody's invited to offer incense if they'd like to by coming up this center aisle and offering Oshoko here. If you're at home and you have incense you'd like to offer, please feel free. And if I'll give you a few seconds to do that, a few moments, and then we'll meet over at these front few pews for a Dharma talk. Let me bring everybody over online. I did it again. This way more. There we go. Yeah, I've been cutting myself off lately in half, so I made sure to move it this time. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining me today, for joining all of us. I appreciate you sitting with me. Thank you to everybody online. It's nice to see you guys as well, or you all as well. Let me get my notebook. For this seminar, thinking of transitioning into warmth, thinking of spring and just what this time of year at least teaches me. I was thinking about the Han, that block that I struck at the beginning. If you get a chance to look at it, here, I'll share a picture of it online for a second. And as you go out today, you can see it just hanging in the back hallway by the door out there. But it's what we strike every time before meditation. Right before service, we strike the kancho bell, big bell out there. Before meditation, you strike the han. And it's something that in my Zen training, we strike it at the monastery to signify different times of the day. It's a way to communicate with each other without using a lot of words. But it also has a really great invitation. You'll see there's calligraphy on it. It's nice to see. This han has obviously been used for a long time. Each one is different. You can see how long it's been used by how worn out it is in the middle, because you hit soft, 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 hard, 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 soft, 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 soft. So there's kind of like a little mountain road of previous training built into every one, which is really beautiful to think about, especially if you get to strike it. And if you want to learn how, I would love to teach you, even if you just want to see after this. But the quote on it says, let me get this right. May I respectfully remind you, great is the matter of birth and death. All is important, quickly passing. Be awake each moment. Don't waste this life. So that's one translation of the quote on the han, on every han. Most hans, I should say. And in thinking of Equinox, Ohigan. Ohigan is the name of the holiday, and it means to cross to the other shore. And whether you're a Buddhist or not, whether you take the Jodo Shinshu approach or not, thinking of crossing to the other shore, of attaining enlightenment, of being born in the Pure Land, there's often the idea that it's separate from where we are right now, that birth and death are separate, that time is finite, that all of these things are really separate mechanisms. But what the teachings teach us, and what my teachers have taught me, or my understanding currently, is that everything's happening right now. It's not just a way to ground ourselves. It's a way to tap into the reality that there is no separation between the things that we draw lines in most times. If we think of birth and death, this holiday, religiously or spiritually, is about dying in this world and being born into the Pure Land or nirvana, enlightenment. But it's also about recognizing the fact that that's right now, right? We're not so much finding a new place as we're letting go of the old things. So the teaching there for me is to, how do I realize the joy that is in front of me? What do I need to do to make it so? If there's a relationship that I have that is tumultuous or a lot of conflict, how do I need to shift that to let it have ease? What am I holding on to in my life that is not helping me heal? And how do I find those things? And I find by thinking of that quote of the matter of birth and death being important, the matter of it. In Zen quotes, the literal meaning sometimes means something, but usually it's more about what do you feel with each word. And for me, the word here is matter, right? Matter is what we care about, it's why, but it's also the physical beings of us. The matter of birth and death is our bodies. The matter of birth and death is the world. It is the Buddha. It is all one thing. And if we get the chance to say how great this is, whatever this conflict is, this connection, this way of expressing my breath, of expressing my emotions, I find it easier to approach the difficult things or to make space for them. And in thinking of not wasting this life, waste is a tricky word because it gets tied up in productivity, it gets tied up in a lot of ways that we shame ourselves. But if I were to try to look at that without shame, without some other lens of what I should do on it, wasting to me would be missing it, not being there. Or more than that would be not having that chance to really at least attempt to live within alignment with my own true values or my own true self. And finding that self is so hard. It takes time. It takes so long. I don't know if we do or when we do, but the whole point of this impermanence and this matter of birth and death is that dying is being born and being born is dying. In order for something to come to be, something has to change into it. And in order for that thing to leave, it changes into something, right? Even our grief, even our pain, even our struggles, these are all things that will certainly die and transform into something else. Grief might transform into more grief, but it's still different, right? If we lose somebody, 1 year passes, 2 year passes, 3 year passes, we still feel it, but there's something different. Even if it's just as deep, maybe something else has grown on. Maybe it's teaching us how to let go of something over here, right? We don't have to think of it as like a, you know, kind of toxic positivity slant where it's, oh, always see the good. But for me, I think it's a reminder to always see the whole. What is the matter of life and death to you? What is what you would dive wholeheartedly into the moment for? What kind of love do you find at the end of that? And how do you cultivate that in each area of your life? What kind of state of being are you in when you feel that type of love or compassion? How do you cultivate that into the tricky, hard times and areas? I think for me, that's kind of where I'm at for spring. Just really trying to think of, as things come alive around us, to know that I wasn't dead all winter, even if it felt like it, or even if I feel so alive in a couple of weeks when the sun comes back for real. That time was precious, no matter how hard, and it taught me something, and it brought me things, and things left me. And so as I move into this new shift, whatever that looks like for me, how do I honor everything that I've done and everything that is to come by sitting exactly right now at the convergence of all of that, right? Everything that is to come and everything that's come before us is dependent on exactly right now. And so if right now is a moment of compassion with friends, I feel confident in what's to come. And I feel confident in the worth of the struggles that came before because of what the experience of being here is showing me. And so in my right nows, I try to see, how could it be this, or where do I need to go? What do I need? Depends on your needs in the moment, what's happening. But those are a little bit of my springtime thoughts. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody online and in person. I love mind body seminars. They're always such a nice way to ground. And hopefully we get to add in, or really I get to add in a little bit of my like daily practice and stretch everybody, hopefully, so we all get to play in different ways, which is really fun for me. We'll do some check outs, check in, out, either way. But folks online and folks in person, nobody feel pressured. We're going to do this kind of open. I'm going to switch the volume real quick, but I'll give folks online a second. If you want to come off mute or type in the chat, you can say hi. You can come in person, and I'll flip you so you guys can see everybody.